Unfortunately, fat loss isn't like Tinder. And what I mean by that is if you just wanted to fuck, all you've got to do is just go on Tinder, swipe right for a few minutes, bish bash bosh, you might have got somebody by the weekend. Nor is it like Amazon Prime. You don't just go to sleep and bish bash bosh, it happens in the morning. I know you won't like me saying this, but fat loss is just a really, really, really slow process. To break it down a little bit more for you, there's about 3,500 calories in 1 pound of body fat, which means that in order to lose 1 pound of body fat, you'd need to be ideally creating around a 300 calorie deficit for around 11 to 14 days. But the thing about that pound is it doesn't just go from one part of your body, it goes from your whole body in general. To put this into perspective for you, let's say you've got a 500 milliliter bottle of water. You empty the water out, you went into a full bathtub, you put the water in and you got out 500 milliliters from that bathtub. You likely wouldn't notice any difference in the water going down because of that reason. Because relatively speaking, compared to the whole body of water, 500 milliliters isn't that much. And it's the same thing with fat loss. If you just remove 1 pound of body fat from your whole entire body, the difference visually is going to be very, very, very slight. Which ultimately might make you feel a little bit disheartened when you've been sticking to your calorie deficit for about a month, and even though the scales are saying that you've gone down in weight, you probably won't notice it as much. But let me be clear, don't get deflated or disheartened or pissed off just because you can't see any visual results, because you've just got to trust the process, trust that it's happening, and continue to do it, because eventually the small decreases in your body weight and the small decreases in your body fat are going to accumulate into making a big difference. I'm going to use this toilet paper as a representative of your body and the body fat that you're going to lose. Let's say, for example, you go for a shit every single day and you use 1, maybe 2 sheets of paper, probably a little bit more if you've had a curry the night before. I'll tell you what, if we were in lockdown right now, people would be gunning for my head. But let's say, for example, you tear off a sheet of toilet paper every time you go to the toilet. Now, have you noticed a difference between the size of this toilet paper and the one that I originally had before I started pulling sheets off of it? There are 2 types of people in the world. The type of person who says no, and complete fucking liars. Unless you've got an incredibly good eyesight, you most likely won't have noticed a difference in size between what it's looking like now and what it was at the start of this video. But that being said, I have pulled off sheets of toilet paper. The proof is right here. The annoying thing is, relatively speaking, you won't actually notice any visual results in the toilet paper until eventually you're sat on the toilet with no toilet paper on the roll and you can actually see that there's no toilet paper on the roll, which will eventually make you think, oh shit, I need to go to Aldi, and then lead you to, use a sock or something, I don't know. But that will only happen when you've actually made a massive dent in it. When you've actually looked at it and gone, oh, I actually do need some more toilet paper, I've run out. And it's the same with your body as well. Eventually, you're going to look at it in the mirror and think to yourself, oh, there's something there that I didn't see before. Or, oh, my clothes are fitting a little bit differently. Or, oh, I've actually made it up the stairs without breathing out my arsehole. Fat loss takes time, and because you see yourself in the mirror every day, you see yourself in reflections every day, and you just see yourself in general every single day, the differences that you make won't visually be noticeable until you made a big enough difference for it to actually happen. This is why you need to rely on other metrics to determine that progress to keep you motivated in the meantime. For example, if clothes are fitting differently, or if you're getting positive comments from friends. Because if your friends see you once a week, they're going to be able to notice the difference way, 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 way sooner and way more accurately than somebody that sees themselves every single day. Just don't get deflated, don't get disheartened. Continue to do what you're doing and trust that what you're doing is the right thing, especially if the weight is coming down, your clothes are fitting differently, and you are indeed getting positive comments from other people, because eventually you'll see it. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, make sure you give it a like. If you've got any questions at all, please feel free to comment below and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you want any more free fitness or fat loss based tips without any of the bullshit, as always, make sure that you're either following my Instagram at k.p_health or subscribe to this channel. And I promise you, I am going to use these. Peace.